Hi, welcome to D&D's Garage. We thought for the second episode we would introduce you to our 1994 Salem fifth wheel trailer. I'm just going to pop inside here and put away his frying pan from camping. Come on in. So this trailer is a 1995 fifth wheel, and we bought it for $1,200 on May long weekend. We had a really good deal on it because the roof was really badly damaged. So despite everything else in the trailer working, furnace works, stove works, oven works, microwave, fridge, freezer, all of that works, water pump works. All of the interior spaces are in pretty good condition, very low wear on them. But the roof was in really bad shape, especially in the back corner here. And the fellow that had the trailer was really nice, very forthcoming, and he seemed a bit heartbroken actually that the trailer roof was in such bad shape. He'd been using this trailer for a hunting cabin for a while, and that's actually one of the reasons why we're going to have to replace the floor, because in the dead of winter they had the furnace on and it overheated the lino and it separated from the floor. So a brief overview of what I had to do to repair. A lot of RVs and trailers utilize an EPDM rubber membrane over typically OSB type sheeting, and they do that for reasons of economy and also for reduced weight. Over the years, the rubber membrane will start to get perforations in it from hailstorms and all kinds of other things. And so the manufacturers actually recommend that you apply sealer to the roof every 10 years. It definitely didn't look like that had been done with our trailer. So the membrane had started to fail. It started to fail around common places too, where there's penetrations. There was a safety rail at the back of the trailer, and that's where a lot of the damage in the roof originally looked like it came from. Unfortunately, previous attempts at sealing it up only resulted in sealing water in. So once water got into the trailer, all the sealant that they glopped around, all of the pieces that were mounted to the roof, just sealed in any water that actually infiltrated. To make matters worse, it's a very thin layer of fiberglass insulation in the ceiling, and it held enough water so that it'd start to penetrate. So what I did actually was I removed starting with the rear section of the roof, because we knew that was the worst. I removed the membrane, removed the rail and the other items that were screwed to the roof, peeled the membrane back. Then I assessed the wood underneath. Thankfully, the wood overall, aside from the sheathing, the frame was in not bad shape. So what we did was we removed the OSB sheeting completely from that section, and I started to reinforce the existing roof ribs. They're nominally 2x2 lumber, and they get a little bit thicker in the middle because it's supposed to actually have an arch upward. The roof had been damaged and sagging for so long that it actually sagged down. So what I did was push the boards up, laminated new pieces of 2x2 to get together with it with some construction adhesive, and then I put bolts through to help ensure rigidity. And then we put half-inch pressure-treated plywood over top. There's some goods and bads to that. Nominally, the weight is pretty close. The pluses to using pressure-treated plywood is that if it gets moist, if there's a penetration in the roof that starts to leak, it will swell, but it will, generally speaking, return right back to its original dimensions once it dries out. The bads is it's pressure-treated with chemicals. I'm starting to see a little bit of discoloration on the membrane, which I'm not sure if it's related, but it seems like I see that same discoloration on all the sections of the roof sheeting where I replaced it with plywood. I'm not sure, honestly, if it's going to be a problem. I'm going to go ahead and seal the roof before winter, just to be safe. I've got the sealer. It's not very expensive, to be honest with you. That's actually the cheapest part of the whole deal. The primer and the gallon of sealer is about $179 off of Amazon. I've got 2 gallons just to be safe. Wanted to make sure I had enough. The plywood was pretty expensive. We bought it right in the middle of the pandemic lumber increases. So the first sheet of plywood I bought was 80 $87, no, $82. And I remember pressure treated 1/2 inch plywood prior to the pandemic was in the $30 range. And then when I went to get the other sheets, as I kind of peeled the membrane off the trailer and discovered there were other soft spots, I think I was paying like $88 a sheet. So essentially there's 6 sheets of wood on the roof. I've replaced 4 of those. And then I've put a whole brand new EPDM membrane on it. I bought it from the local supplier. Technically you could buy some commercial roofing EPDM membrane. Unfortunately it comes in like really massive quantities, and it doesn't come with the white side, which is kind of important in an RV or trailer because you want to control heat, right? So you kind of do want that white side. So we elected to just spend the money on the specialty supplier. So we have about $1,100 into the roof for the membrane and the glue, plus the sheets of plywood, plus the tons of little chunks of 2x2s that I used. What I found when I got down into the wall of the trailer here, if we want to get a shot of that, was that the water, you expected there to be damage in the ceiling space, but the water actually ran down in the wall. So there were actually sections inside the wall that I had to replace the 2x2 struts. So normally you would put a thin material for the interior walls of the trailers. It's this very light wood sheeting called Luan. And so the common practice is to put the Luan in, and then this looks kind of like wallpaper. It's essentially wallpaper. It appears to be fairly waterproof, actually. So that's what they use through the whole trailer. When we were repairing this, we were looking for kind of a budget material, and in retrospect, if I knew what I knew now, I probably wouldn't use it. But this is your kind of standard 3/16 wood paneling, and it was on clearance at Lowe's, and my wife liked the pattern, so happy spouse, happy house. So I put a section in here and 2 pieces in the corner here in the wall, and then 1 little section there. So as I go through the trailer a little bit more, I'm going to look for soft spots. I'm going to repair those. I guess the overall attitude that we have is we want to, probably make the trailer look a little bit more warm and inviting and a little bit more modern, but totally on a budget. We're all together with all of the materials and the price of the trailer together. We're probably at about $3,600 investment, which is fantastic considering every single little thing in this place works, and considering what trailers are going for. So we're really happy. We're really feel pretty fortunate actually that we got such a good deal and that I was able to perform the work and able to do it in a way that's hopefully fairly professional. So so far so good. It's been through lots of storms, and we haven't had a hint of a leak, so we're pretty happy with it. We can probably take a little tour around. As you'd expect from these older trailers, this back area, this back couch folds down into a bed, so my daughter's pretty happy with that. She gets her own bed. My son Victor has the breakfast nook table, and he's pretty happy with that. So when you have an 11 and 12-year-old and they can have their own beds, that makes it for a lot more pleasant trip. I did add a little bit newer stereo here. It had a pretty decent little stereo, but they had the speakers wired so they weren't stereo effect. So I actually temporarily put a different car stereo in, and this one I actually bought the stereo at a flea market, repaired the stereo, and installed it while we were camping these last few days because I get bored when I don't have anything to do. So great little stereo. The reason I wanted it was $10 at the flea market. It looked like it was actually fairly brand new, like a store return. I was really a little bit bummed out when it didn't work, but I'm not scared to take things apart. I've been repairing stuff professionally for, I guess, the better part of 30 odd years. So I took it apart and just started looking for damage, and what I found was that a screw had been taken out of the exterior cover, put back in. It cut right through through at least one major trace on the circuit board. So actually Victor was sitting with me. I had my old work tool bag with me, which has a butane soldering iron, so I resoldered the trace, tried the stereo, still didn't fire up. I realized that the circuit board wasn't properly grounded to the chassis, so I reinstalled the screws, powered it up, and it works perfectly. So the reason that we wanted to upgrade the stereo is the old one was from 1994, didn't have any auxiliary inputs, and so you couldn't hook an MP3 player or your phone to it. So the really nice thing about this one is it's got a plug-in auxiliary port, it's got Bluetooth connectivity, and It also has a USB port on it as well, so you can actually plug a USB stick in with your MP3s on it. It's kind of it's certainly a luxury thing, but it's pretty nice if you're planning on being out for a week or more than a couple of days, and if it gets rainy and you're stuck inside, it's nice to have some options in terms of entertainment. So anyways, this is the main control panel here. This is where we can test the water pump, we can test the level of the tanks and the level of the battery. We've got storage for all kinds of groceries and that sort of thing here. I guess it's probably all empty. We're packed up for the winter time now, but yeah, so nice little item, and I thought it was a simple little upgrade, and it was easy for me to do. I had the spare stereo installation kit parts in my garage already. So this is the kitchen area. We're going to be pretty soon actually putting new flooring in. So as I was saying before, one of the great things about this is that we have a working fridge. And don't mind the mess. We literally just got back from camping and just unpacked. We didn't clean yet. And we have a freezer. So it's really good. Actually, if you put frozen goods in here, they'll stay frozen pretty much your whole trip. It's really cool. It's on electric or propane. Just watch yourself. I'm going to close this up. So if you're at a place where you didn't have AC for the fridge, you could get by for a while on the propane. We have two 33-pound tanks for the propane. So yeah, really cool. Definitely easily keep a week's worth of goods in here fairly handily. So in here we have the bathroom. Pretty good sized bathroom, to be honest with you. We have a toilet, we have a tub and shower. Again, don't mind the mess. We don't really even use the tub and shower. I think that's sand in the bottom from the kids washing off after the lake. Actually pretty decent sized vanity, great size medicine cabinets here. We've got a couple little closets. The only really terrible thing is carpet in a washroom. That is not great. So we're going to be doing the floor, obviously, to replace the lino here. Plus, I know I'm going to have to replace a little bit of floor sheeting right at the corner of the wall that I repaired. So it'll give me an opportunity to kind of just tear everything out of here, make sure everything's absolutely perfect, and then I'll put some new flooring in. So looks like Lowe's is having a Labor Day sale this weekend on flooring. It's going to be about $40 a box off. That kind of fits right in our budget. I've saved a little bit of money for this, so my wife will be super happy when we don't have any, and I will be super happy. This really grosses me out when we don't have any carpet in our bathroom. So back up here, we've got a set of steps that takes you up to kind of the gooseneck part of the trailer. That's over the box of the truck, and here we have sorry, bonked my head. So here we have normally you'd have an RV size bed, and so this is actually a queen mattress we've got in here now. So normally you'd have something that was the same width, but it'd be quite a bit shorter. My wife's actually way taller than me, so that was a little bit out of the question. And we actually had our queen size mattress. We just got a brand new one for our bed not that long ago, so we had the old mattress in the house, and it was still in pretty decent shape, and we thought we could suffer it for a week at a time in the summer. So what I did was just made a simple extension to the existing bed frame here so that we could fit the queen size mattress in. And then pro tip, if you ever have to squeeze a mattress down a small hallway, ratchet straps are your best friend. I think I must have seen it somewhere on YouTube, and I wish I could remember it so I could give appropriate credit. But anyways, I had that brainwave when we were going to have to struggle in here with the mattress. So we just folded it in half long ways with ratchet straps, tied them up, and just brought her down the hall, got it in place, and undid the ratchet straps. So yeah, honestly, this is quite a bit fancier than we've ever had for a place to camp, but we're super grateful, like I said, that we were able to pick it up. It was well within our budget and within my skill level to do the repairs. So I think that's about all I have to show you on the trailer for now. Tune in as soon as I get the flooring and get some time scheduled. I'll probably film a video just showing putting laminate flooring down. So if you're into that, great. If you're into the car stuff, then you can skip that video. I'll make sure that we title it really well. And thanks again for watching. We hope to see you soon.